Tlingit Akwasigu microphone Gehajiwa. Because I have an elder back there, can't hear.
We tried to get one that we said talk loud.
What? Ja, genau.
I'll listen real hard.
Akwasigu Wudashi Ka Alice Taff in Akawaniki Ya workshop done. Katsu, you introduce him. And you tell us what's going on.
And Carlton Smith will be leading the workshop with, and will introduce. Oh, I see.
Oh, would you tell the group how this came about? Anyway, our clock is an hour off, so that's not the actual.
Carlton Smith, you've seen his name all over town on the posters, not on the milk bottles or anything like that. But he wanted me to introduce him because, as he explained to me, I could say whatever I wanted, but mainly that people would know that he didn't just roll in off the ferry. He actually rolled in off an airplane. So he just came back from Tlingit. Anyhow, but seriously, I'm trying to figure out when we first met Carlton, but I know it was at least 1982, possibly 81. Nora and I were holed up in a writer's apartment in Vienna, Austria, where we thought nobody could find us, and the phone rang and it was Carlton Smith calling. We're saying, wow, this guy sees all, knows all. But anyhow, somewhere between 1982 and now, he would go around trying to practice speaking Tlingit with a stiff upper lip. He said, you always have to speak Tlingit with a stiff upper lip. And we finally found out why he was doing that, because he has a genre that he's working with, ventriloquism, and I think most of us grew up with this as this kind of a comic routine. And it is. There's a lot of comedy there with the old Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and then the later generation. But there's also very, very serious things that you can do with puppetry and with ventriloquism. And we've talked about the serious side of that too, and I think Carlton can tell you more about that. But anyhow, he was one of the directors of Sea Alaska Heritage Foundation for many years, and was the one that encouraged Nora and me to do some of the work we did. The very first edition of Because We Cherish You, of the Sitka speeches that were done in 1980 down in Sitka that the SNEP students recorded. And Carlton was behind the transcription of those. So anyhow, Carlton's been around. He's from Haines-Klukwan area, and is, I think, well known to a lot of people, may not be to some folks. But let me introduce him then, and I don't know if he's going to talk for himself or Charlie's going to talk for him, but we'll kind of figure that out as we go. So, anyhow, thank you for asking me to introduce you. I hope I didn't do too much damage. He also sells used housing on the side.
See how you are. Well, thank you all for coming here today. As you can tell, we don't have any formal program here. Both Alice and my friend from Tlingit here, Marsha, we just kind of decided to do this because this is really about children. And I got started in ventriloquism 50 years ago, and I was living in Haines at the time. And you remember when we used to have the Sears Roebuck Wish Book? About that thick. When you get it, you go through it, and quickly you figure out 2 or 3 things to order. Well, I said to my mother and my father, I said, I want to order one of those ventriloquist figures. Not a dummy, it's a figure. The difference is that a figure is animated. The eyes, the mouth, the head. And I became ill when I was 10 years old, and I was bedridden for nearly 4 months. I had hepatitis there in Haines. And I had my figure with me. My dad bought it for me. His name was Jerry. He was about this big. And there were children walking below my bedroom door, or bedroom window. And Jerry and I were talking to them as they would walk home from school. And the first day or two, there were 5 or 6 children. The second day, there were 8 or 9. The third day, by the end of the week, there were 20 children that came to see this little green man that wanted to talk to them from a second-story window. So I had to figure out a way to end this, because it was getting out of control. So Jerry and I agreed that we would tell the children the next time they came through that Jerry had become very ill and that he passed away. So I made a fake grave below the window next to a tree, and these children, three of them were brothers. They're still living in Haines. They came by and they said, "Where's Jerry?" And I said, "Oh, he died and he's buried right there." And one of these children just became hysterical. And he started crying and he ran off toward his mother's house. And he told his mother this terrible story. His mother went to the superintendent of schools where my father was teaching, and she said, "Something strange is happening in that house." So the superintendent of school called my dad into the office and said, "Explain this. Someone is dead in your household and they're buried in your backyard." But today that individual, his name is Davy Berry, he heads up the Chilkoot Indian Association. When he sees me, he says, "How's the little green man?" Okay, anyway, that was the beginning of my realization that kids really like animated figures. That's why they watch TV. It's the movement, it's the noise, it's the humor. But they love animation. Try to keep this somewhat brief. So I forgot about Jerry. Jerry went in a trunk. And 3 years ago, when I moved in Douglas, I opened up this trunk and there he was. So I brought him out and was playing with him. I was sitting next to Albert Reinhardt on an Alaska Airlines flight to Anchorage, and I was looking out the window and I realized, I can count to 10 without moving my lips in the Tlingit. And Albert said, "Can you say my name?" And then I was going right down a list of clans and the place names, and I thought, ooh, this is kind of cool. The reason why I could do that is because my mother was a speaker. And of course, I was listening to her for many, many years, and she had some great advice, which I won't repeat here. But I thought, well, this would be really great. So I went to Walter Soboloff, and I said, "Walter, what can I do? What would be your advice here?" He said, "No doubt you have to create a Tlingit figure." This guy. And he said, the way it goes is you're always going to be criticized. Someone is going to be critical of you, make fun of you, if you attempt to do this. We know that, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. What do I do? Well, my namesake, Shanak'w Uwáa, means in the image of the ancient people. Walter said, he was one of my best friends from Killisnoo, Shanak'w Uwáa. He said, what you do is you create a brand new figure in the image of the person you're named after. That's who this is. Shanak'w Uwáa. Okay? So I said to Walter, I said, great, this is going to take some time. So I got on the internet, and it took me 8 or 9 months, close to a year, to find a figure maker who was interested in this project. And Peter Metcalf helped me. You know, we started out with some photographs of Shanak'w Uwáa. He was at the 29 convention in Haines. We provided this figure maker with the photographs, and he said, well, it's kind of bad news. I said, what's that? He said, well, our prices range from $3,000 to $20,000.
Oh,
Because this individual makes figures for people all over the world, okay? But he was intrigued enough, the fact that we were going to use this with kids, with Tlingit High to Head Start, that he said, all right, we'll negotiate a figure that makes sense. So we worked with him on the skin tone here, the hair.
We can't see him.
Hold it up.
Okay, I'll lift him up in a minute. The skin tone, the hair, and the object was to come as close to Shanak'w Uwáa as possible. And just about a year and a half later, he arrived in a box. Pulled him out. Walter said, this is the way you gotta dress him. Bib overalls, flannel shirt. He's got long underwear on. He's got white socks, you can't see him. And he originally had black shoes. Still got the black shoes. He says that's the way Shanak'w Uwáa would dress. And he was from Killisnoo, but he lived in Tlingit, and he was Keet Gushy Hit. Shanak'w Uwáa, okay? So, we got him out, and Tlingit had a head start, said, okay, we're ready to bring him into the classroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have him introduce himself, okay? And I'm just going to try to lift him up here.
Shanak'w Uwáa yakhatusa. Chak ayakhat. Dakla waydi ayakhat. Keet Gushy Hit da ayakhat. Ganak tedi that's fun ayakhat. Jeff got Kwan. Cheese.
Yeah, so the object was to go into the classroom every Friday morning at the Pioneers Home, where there is a center there, and these kids are 5 and 6 years old, and we had a very basic program. He would introduce himself, he would sing a song. I don't have a drum with me, but if somebody had a drum, he'll sing a song for you. And in some of the exercises, we'll get to it. He loves to count to 10. His children love to count to 10. You ready to do that?
Take. Nuts. Dagoon. Cajun. Tledusha. Dakadusha. Nuts-kadusha. Gusha.
Here it comes.
Shoot caught.
So anyway, our routine was to sing a little song after he introduced himself. These little kids like this would just want to grab him, claw him, and we'd sing another little song. We'd talk about the weather, and then we would say,
Tuye Quasatine.
and then he would leave, like 15 minutes. Okay. The limitations to doing this are how much this guy knows how to speak Tlingit. Okay. So that's been the beautiful challenge here, and getting to this point where I need to go back to school with this one. And Marsha said, "Oh, you can figure it out." But, anyway, any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, I'm going to set him down a second, and we'll go up to this board here.
Carlton, there's a question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still go into schools?
I finished the first year and half the season, so I did a year and a half with Head Start. And I've been invited back, but not on a schedule yet. I'm still trying to figure out how I can make this more meaningful for them. The thing that's been most interesting is that I've been invited now to 4 Ku'iks, and he's been to 3. The last was in Tlingit about a month ago. This was Anna Katzik's party. And he has a routine with that. We're not a comedy show here, but he really likes to respond to questions, and I think we're going to do that tomorrow night at the banquet. So if you're here tomorrow night, Ish is going to help me in the banquet. So anyway, can we have that item up on the screen? The orange page.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it up here?
It will be momentarily.
Okay, well, I realize that not everyone wants to be a Tlingit ventriloquist, but let me tell you, once you get into just a few basic things, and we'll go through some little exercises here, it really is fun. And one of the things that you can do is practice in front of a mirror. Always practice in front of a mirror. And what you want to do is clasp your teeth together. The reason why you do that is it gives you control. And you can do it slightly like this, but without that, your mouth is going to move around. Okay. Number 2, of course, you want to open your lips slightly, and you develop what I call a casual smile. The reason why you want to do that and do it in front of the mirror is you want to have a pleasant expression on your face. You don't want to have a scowl on your face. Your feet, Florence, come up. Oh, good. You want to have your feet flat on the floor so that your diaphragm is straight up for breathing. And there's two types of voices that you can experiment with. One would be a soft voice like, another might be, oh, Diane Church, she just came in. How are you, honey?
Just to make sure you're not selling the place.
So generally you'll have a soft voice you're going to be more comfortable with, or a deep voice that you're more comfortable with. And this just takes a little practice. So on the back, I thought what we could try, if we want to pull up the Alice and Marsha have some handmade puppets for us to practice with. And what you want to do, this is where the fun part, this has to be fun. Okay? What you want to do is put your thumb on the bottom. Put your thumb on the bottom like this, and then lift up.
Good to see you, honey.
Got it?
Come and take it. Good to see you. Stay away.
Okay, is everybody got?
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay. The side that shows the, oh no, I'm sorry, this side. At the bottom. Let's just start out by counting to 10. Has everybody got their item up here? By the way, raise your right hand if you're a raven. Ooh. And your right hand if you're an eagle. Ooh, it's just about right, huh? We got some good balance here. Okay, let's go ahead and count to 10, all right?
Click. Dig.
Next.
Dagun. Kitchen. Clay dosho. Daka dosho. Natska dosho. Goshuk. Shinkat.
Good. Do you want to do number 2? Same thing. We're doing it 3 times. This is your thing. 3 times. You go ahead.
Two, up to 2. Lick. Dig. Nuts. Doggone. Cajun. Duckadusha. Nuts.
Okay. Okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit. We're gonna do it a little faster, and we're gonna do it with a little more enthusiasm, okay? Okay, you got K.
Nuts. Dagun. Kitchen. Clay dosho. Daka dosho. Natska dosho.
Give yourself a hand there. That was good. Florence is here, and I wanted her to tell you her relationship with Charlie. Go ahead.
Shanak'w City in Charlie. Tlingit Uwáa, Charlie. That Kaye in the cage, I fell in love with him. It was just so awesome to see that Tlingits can do this. You know, that's one of the things we have to challenge ourselves to, is we can do anything. We can do anything that's done out there. I'm always proud of Ishmael, all the stuff that he's done with the theater, and all of our teachers I appreciate her. She's going to school while she's teaching. And this guy is selling olive tuna while he's doing his Well, look at Charlie. Isn't he dignified? The part I really fell in love with were the big jeans and the boots. Look at the boots. Enough thing, get a, okay.
Okay, we're going to, what I thought we could do is, we'll start with this sheet here. We just turn this one over, and we'll say, I'll bring Charlie up, and we'll say these 5 plans. Just, what I want you to do is have your figure ready, okay? Don't be taking it off now. Have your figure ready. No. Okay, and I want you to relax, keep your feet on the ground like this, back straight up, relax your throat, and be ready. And I might call on the Ravens first, and then the Eagles, but we're just going to, this is, by the way, this is the toughest word in the whole language. Maybe I can start to say that. But you find that as you repeat these, they become easier to pronounce without moving your lips. Okay, so we're going to pull our teeth together, purse our lips a little bit. Are you ready? And you're going to tell us how to pronounce the first one. Go ahead. Wow, very good. Let's do it again. Just the Ravens now. The Eagles now. Okay, let's go right down the next list there. Everybody. That's the energy part. Very good. Okay, one more time. Real good. You folks are doing it real good. I'm so happy. You too. Later. What do we got? Maybe somebody else can make a suggestion here. Charlie's gonna, how do we do for time?
We got another hour.
Another hour? Okay, we're gonna have a comedy hour here pretty quick. Charlie's big on songs, but he's a very religious man, and he sings religious songs. We probably won't do that today, but He wants to sing a little killer whale song for you that goes like this. Hey, 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 ha, hey, 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 ha, hey. Hey, 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 ha, hey, hey, ha, ha, ha. Hey, 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 ha, hey, 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 ha, hey, hey, ha, 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 hey, hey, ha, 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 please. So the point here is that it's just unlimited things that you can do, but focusing on the kids, they want to pick up simple concepts, they want to feel good, they want to feel safe, and they're captured by the animation. That's what we're doing. So, well, he's a fairly humorous guy. Let's just do a Q&A here. Ask him what his favorite food is.
Dasue tuasigu akihaye.
Who is that guy? English, please.
Charlie, what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's easy. Cake.
Why do you like gink so much?
Because my gink don't stink.
Oh, there's Paul. Here's another one. Shanak'w Uwáa. Can you talk a little bit about this being as a... Okay, yeah. Share this with me.
Shanak'w
Uwáa. Keoxytini Shanak'w Uwáa. Is Kagiyak Taki Kutka. It's as if the very image of this man came right out and Jesus was still alive.
I wanted to share with everybody that besides Walter Sobola being really instrumental in encouraging me to dress him like this, and she likes it, that Ruby Hughes has done this great, wonderful bib for him. Isn't that great? Thank you, Ruby.
Actually, Alice Johnny did the beadwork.
Thank
I
you
just
so
made the bib.
And Linda Wynn, who's not here, she has a Carhartt jacket for him over here. And the boots were donated. I'm trying to, I think it's a children's store out in the valley. Anyway. So more questions for him. Nora?
Yeah.
Any questions for him?
Yes, sir.
Any questions
No.
for him?
What's up?
Bill?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's his name?
He says it's your name.
Shanak'w Uwáa.
How long has Charlie been working with the dummy?
He missed that point earlier that there's no dummy here because he can move his eyes,
He can close his eyes, and he can talk stupid too.
He wasn't talking about Charlie.
I know. It's a risk that we take every day. One question. Alice, do you have anything else?
Yes, the next step was wondered if people would like to work on a little dialogue between their puppets, whoever you're sitting next to. And lots of speakers are here, and you can find out from them how to say some simple things you want to say that you might want to do with children.
Okay.
Marty, can you give an example? Like a couple of people right there. If you guys can be the demo, and what would you like to say to each other?
The first five. Utlakari. Utlakari.
Go for it.
Qanahtedi.
Qanahtedi.
Good.
Kiksadi.
Kiksadi.
Deshitan.
Deshitan.
Daptaintan.
Daptaintan.
Okay.
Vanessa, did you have a song?
Marsha, did you have a song?
Uh-huh.
Marsha has a song. She's a little bashful about it. But come on up.
One of the things that helped me when I first started teaching in the school was I had a little bear that came to school with me, but the little bear could only speak Tlingit and he didn't know English. And so when the kids trying to get them to utilize Tlingit, so he was always right next to me, and I could get my hand into him. And every time a kid would speak Tlingit, I'd try to get him as fast as I could and start, oh, you can, and I'd make him talk to them and hoot for them as they utilize Tlingit language. But one of the things we did was, you know, people translate our little nursery Tlingit into Tlingit, and it's really hard sometimes because we don't talk like that. But one of the songs that I was able to work on though was Incy Wincy Spider. So spider is Atkanas Adi, and so people do it different ways, but it's kind of the way that I kind of worked it out. Along with some elders, I went back and asked them. So let's see what I can do. Don't pay attention to me. Atkanas Adi Kinderwudigle, Siunda Kristani Ada Hutziki.
Well, we could sing another couple of. Go ahead.
Sorry for being a little bit late, but I was wondering maybe to encourage some people. My husband is a kindergarten teacher. He uses a puppet, and he says it's a quiet puppet, and so he only brings it out for those of you that are teachers or work with young kids. The puppet only comes out when it's in a whisper or a really low level, and then I know you can always probably put some Tlingit in there, but I know that's what the kids really respond to, as well as I have a nephew that's autistic, and I was reading that sometimes they use puppets to encourage people to use, you know, to start communicating with their oral language as well as another form. So
thank you for that. In my experience with, well, the year and a half with Tlingit High to Head Start, just as a volunteer with this guy, approximately 2 out of 10 children will withdraw. They don't like the figure. It's just a little too much for them. But the 8 out of 10 will go the other way. I mean, they come up real close and they want to touch and they want to just be on him, a tactile. But that, thank you for mentioning that. And I'm not an educator, so I'm not sensitive to those things. But Ruby, you do this. Any
What do I do?
no, with your kids?
Oh,
What do they respond to?
well, I haven't done ventriloquism.
No.
I mean,
Just in general. Do they respond to soft?
I work with middle schoolers, so they respond to anything that will get them off task. Anything that will get them from doing what they want to do. So if you can make it engaging, engaging them and hooking them in. I think something like this would be great. Playful.
Playful.
Yeah, just playful. More engaged. They have to do it, then.
Okay, so if you're going to work with your speaker, your fluent speaker here, and come up with a little dialogue, we'll demonstrate. I want to be able to ask, where's my mommy?
When you call your mom in Tlingit, we say ikle, and I can't remember what they say when you're addressing, talking to your mom. So if the kid was looking for their mom. Yeah, ikle when you're talking directly to your mom. When you're talking about your mom, it's kwa.
So, and also I found that with these high-tech puppets, which were made by an ad hoc committee of puppet makers, Marty and Louise Parker Keough and Millie Hall, that I can, on the cardboard inside, I can pull it down with my thumb too, as well as lift up with my top fingers, just the thumb on the bottom. So, okay, so I'm gonna call okay, and then what are you gonna respond? Because we're having a dialogue.
You're too hot. Are you?
Okay, now we're gonna.
This is on the.
Now this is your chance. Just one speaks, another answers. Okay, so this is your work now. And then we'll have some
Would you like to one?
Say
You want to practice together when it's time? No sooner than when it's time, though. Are we supposed to make a dialogue or the way we, or is it or in the book? See, the way we do it in Sitka That's the way they do it. That's awesome. Well, we could do a conversation too. That would be interesting. One that baby talk.
So do they talk to the puppet? They'll talk.
They're learning. Cool, yeah. You got to us Tlingit trainer. What cool
More than
is I see. Who's you get? Who's is it good? No, the word for cloud is Jews.
And if you didn't think it language,
what would you say if I'm looking at a clock or I see a clock?
Yeah.
But if it's a name, sometimes they shorten, they go together faster. So if you're just saying I see a clock, but team could easily shorten and go faster for a name.
Yep. The cardboard.
If I have, I don't remember what it is. I don't know. Maybe not. Sounds good to me. Who's the team you could do us? Stick lip. Who's the team you could? Say it again. That's what they said. We're trying to be ventriloquism. Who's the team? Okay. Well, I'll set you do us off.
Particularly when it comes to sacred drill.
Where do you live? You
Taking it too seriously.
I'm her student over there. I'm one of her many. She's very, very giving lady. So, what next? What's your name? Where are you living? Okay. Have you done, how old are you? What clan are you? What's your house? Where were you born? What's your mother's name? Well, so do us off the clock. It's an English word. Mary. He's got to have an M. Mary. You do it. Isa iji, unsa iyaki.
Demonstrate dialogue.
How many children do you have? I don't ask that question ever. Uday sawa yanay. See?
Okay,
How much was the chain?
yes, okay, so I could use it at the daycare too.
We have, Tlingit, conversation.
We're going to Ballroom 2. It. Cajun minutes we have.
This was going on already.
Now, these guys are such good sports, and sometimes I get to give them a grade, that I'm going to ask you to do it in your low, loud voice now. We have two voices. Okay, yeah, what? So some people are say, I'm only a beginner, I'm just a beginner. That's why we have this. So you're not making a mistake. You're grown up, right? You're not supposed to make mistakes. But this, who cares what this guy says? Right? Okay.
So are you asking
Yeah,
that
okay.
answer?
Go.
Are you ready? Go for it, Princeton.
I was total beginner, so you know.
What's the age of a song?
Nancy who talked to us. What sa'i do us up?
What's the age of a tea?
Hut yak. Hut yak.
That much room to
Key.
Okay.
Okay.
Problem we get is how W and
Not ready for prime time.
Wasa do a saw.
They never do over food.
So it's hard to do the W. Wasa.
Oh, geez, what's up? Oh, that's so neat.
You want to do that? We can sing. No, we're supposed to have that. We could ask what's your name and then where do you live. And then that's it. If you want, I'll do it. Family. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know, it's like,
Yeah, you could, and then I could go do it.
And you could say, yeah, do. Or something.
I know.
Oh, that's a good job.
Anyone else?
You want to try the one I practiced? What's your name?
Do you guys have extra ones?
He's going. Masa itu if you want.
Or it's safe to say, what's it?
Yeah, because we're speaking in Tlingit already. You said
Sida kusitange.
Shanak'w Uwáa.
Nicht ich genug yagi. Was soll genug yagi?
Ja, ik goed goed.
Ik zu ich Konstantin.
Zie je, Konstantin.
I was just wondering, while they get settled, I'd like to ask, you know, when we have our mouths closed, we don't talk as loud, what do you do to project? Oh, just more air.
Cliff is zeker acht, lagadin.
Was it do so Tlingit ena?
Oh, kushek yucha do a sock Tlingit ena. What echo?
Good satin ya do so.
Oh, yek satini is a cool. Gook sa ye diti. Yeti.
That's what Cliff was a cool. I never.
On played up. Gook sa ye cool. Cool.
Natasha hin cool.
Oh, yek
David Hoot.
That was good. I like that. Oh, I can do it. Thank you.
I know you
Yeah,
have to make
sing a couple songs, right?
Oh, they're charming.
Sure. Real good. You folks did real good. Really good. Proud of you.
For those of you that weren't here earlier, I mentioned that Charlie really and truly was a very religious man, and so he wants to sing one of his favorite songs, two of his favorite songs. The first one is a religious song that I would like it if everyone could sing along, and it's Jesus Loves Me.
Jesus loves me, this I know, and the Bible tells me so. Let no one to him.
And I had two people in my office recently, and he was sitting over in a chair, and these two guys were clients of mine, and we got done with our business, and this one guy's about 75 years old. He said, "Okay, I give up. What's he about?" Charlie's sitting there in the chair, and he said, "Well, what does he do?" And I said, "Well, he can pretty much do anything you want." He says, "Can he sing?" Yeah. He said, "What can he sing?" And I said, "What do you want him to sing?" And he said, "The Alaska Flag Song." It was one of his tunes. So this is the abbreviated version, but you get a kick out of it every time he sings it.
8 stars of gold on a field of blue. Oh, Alaska's native name to you. The blue of the sea, the evening sky, the bear, the dipper, and shining light. The great North Star with its steady light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright. Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, the ship of Alaska. Good cheese.
Thank you all. We're gonna cheese. Thank you all. Shanak'w Uwáa, with the cheese. Yeah, probably good.
That's my other.
To 3, is it 3 now? Where did they go?